This is Ryan Elliott for ID Boxing. It's weigh-in day with me, Frank Smith. Frank, fighters all ready to go. Should be some noise in there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere. We saw just from the weigh-in today, the fans here, and that's why Newcastle's exciting for us. There's some great talent here that you've seen today. Cyrus Pattinson moves up tomorrow, moves along against Chris Jenkins tomorrow in a tough test for him. Pat McCormack, who's a highly decorated amateur that we wanted for a long time, makes his as his second fight under us. Callum French as well, big ticket seller, he's there. Hopi Price steps up, fighting a former world title challenger, European champion. You've got Maisie Rose Courtney on the card. You've got Callum French, I think I mentioned. You've got Muhammad Ali making his professional debut. Stacked card top to bottom. Mark Dickinson as well. And the big heavyweight fight between Sol Dakers and Robert Ismay as well. That's going to be an entertaining one. It's been an entertaining build-up the whole way through. And I think when they get in the ring on Saturday night, we're going to be in for some fireworks. So excited to get going. Big next gen show and the first of something special again up here. We obviously had some great nights here, as I mentioned in the press conference with Lewis Ritson, and we believe there's some major moments that can be built over the coming years with the crop of talent we got here.
Just on Cyrus Pattinson, obviously if he comes through Chris Jenkins, former British champion, you can't really step back and go to 6 and 8 rounders. How fast will he be moved if he comes through this?
No, 100%. That's what he wants. He wants to move quickly. Hence why we did the Chris Jenkins fight, because he needs to build that experience if he's going to go into these big fights. So he's pushing us hard. We've got a tough fight. He doesn't look past Chris Jenkins. He knows how tough it's going to be. But beyond this, we're in for some big fights after this and move very quickly. Like you say, just his 6th fight, but it'll be challenging for more and more titles.
Sol Dakers and Rob Ismay have threatened all week to kind of bubble up Rob Ismay in particular. Final weigh in there, what was going through your head? Rob Ismay made him wait, he was going through a bag. What were you thinking, oh my God?
I didn't know what was going on. Put a nice mask on though. I was just sort of getting ready for that, stepping out the way of a punch that came through. I'm probably not quick enough, but it was quite respectful between the two of them. Sol just wants to get in the ring. He said he's the first opponent he's really had who's spoken to him. So, Sol, I think, looking forward to a good test.
Katie Taylor, Chantelle Cameron, media tour starts next week. We're going over to Dublin on Monday, I believe it is. We didn't speak about that fight, but what does it say about Katie Taylor that Amanda Serrano pulls out and she takes arguably a tougher fight?
Massive fight, massive fight. Katie Taylor, you got to respect her because she has done so much already in the sport, but for now to step up and challenge another undisputed champion at the weight above, is going to be quite amazing to see. Chantelle Cameron's wanted this fight for a long time, so glad we could deliver it for her. And we're in for a great night. I think it's a tougher and better fight than probably the Serrano fight, and I think you're going to be in for a special night at 3 Arena on May 20th.
So Conor McGregor was with Ariel Helwani, told him he's going to be sponsoring the show in some capacity, and he's in talks with you guys to try and make the Croke Park fight happen. Where is all of that with Conor with regards to him helping or trying to push a Croke Park date?
Look, we obviously met with Conor when it was more around the Serrano fight originally. Sure, Eddie's been speaking to him a bit more, but let's see. First things first, though, is focus on 3 Arena on May 20th. Like I say, it's a tough fight. So all eyes are set on that, and then we go from there after that. But I think Conor McGregor definitely wants to help in some way. But yeah, Eddie, I'm sure is talking to him a bit more.
With the heavyweight picture at the minute, obviously Anthony Joshua back in a couple of weeks now. There's going to be a bit of a queue of mandatories depending on the Fury-Usyk situation. If Anthony Joshua wins on April 1st, where does that kind of leave him, and what is the biggest fight that is realistically available to him, do you think?
AJ's there for any of the massive fights. We have to see, as you say, what happens with Usyk against Fury. As the days go by, day by day, I feel unfortunately it's less and less likely. I still hope it happens, but for a fight of that magnitude, it's not easy work to do in what would be now 6 weeks, and the contracts aren't even signed. But again, hope it happens. But there's huge opportunities out there for Anthony Joshua. His eyes are fully focused though on April 1st. He's got a tough test in Jermaine Franklin, and then after that he'll move from there. So, but yeah, fully focused April 1st. We're looking at all other opportunities for him. Back out in the summer maybe. Or the Deontay Wilder fight's massive as well. So let's see how things play out.
I know you don't want to jump the gun, but you have met with Deontay Wilder and his team. Is that fight? Do you feel optimistic about being able to make that fight this year, potentially?
I think so. I think that fight can happen. we haven't had too deep discussions on it. But I definitely think that's a fight both guys are interested in and can definitely happen at a point later in the year.
One thing I wanted to ask you about that came out after we'd spoken yesterday, the DAZN On Sky deal, when I delved a bit more into the details when I got home, it appears that existing DAZN subscribers that bought a year pass or are not on the £20 a month pass aren't going to be able to access it. I know you don't work for DAZN, but have they informed you as to why that is or that decision?
No, I need to have a few more conversations with them. Obviously hard for me to talk on every detail of it, but I'll get some more info on it and then can discuss a bit more next week. I'm sure there's lots of things that are being worked on in the background as well by DAZN.
So final one on it, do you understand the frustration from fans though that have maybe signed up for the air and can't access it?
Yeah. Again, I need to find out a bit more to have an actual informed view on it, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'm sure, like I say, there's things being worked on, to ensure the best possible product by the DAZN team for their subscribers.
All right, Frank, thank you as always. We'll see you on Fight Night.